But let me show you what I ordered for my rock van. I got these, I don't even know what they're called. They're the hinges that go in the driveline. They're actually not an upgrade. I thought they would be, but they're not. Pays to research before you order stuff. I got a little light bar kit, which is kind of cool. It's not just a light bar, but it's also fog lamps. This is exciting. When they announced this, they almost immediately had metal upgrade parts. So this is the upgrade metal transmission gears. I'm going to get those in. And then also metal driveline. So Hobby Plus has really come out with upgrades right out of the box, or right out of the gate on these new models. Like I said, there's the Unimog that's sort of looking like Unimog that's going to be coming out soon. And also I saw on the live stream on one of the boxes that they're going to have a future sort of power wagon, and that will make for some very interesting FMS and power hobby comparisons. Lifting the body is pretty easy. There are two little body clips that, as long as your hands aren't massive, they're easy to pull out, and the body flips up. But I'm going to, I want to remove the body, so it looks to me like these little screws right here, if I take those off, I'll be able to remove the body. Let's see. That worked. Now I got to figure out how to get that transmission out of there. Yep, very easy. 3 screws on the bottom here, and the transmission, motor, and drive shafts just slide out. There are 3 screws here, here, and here that I was hoping I could remove and then just be able to separate or open up the transmission, but you have to also take off this cover, I think, to access this tiny screw right here. Of course, they're all tiny screws. Let's see what happens when I take this out. This is hard because I either have to look through the camera, which isn't very clear. Oops. It's nice to have this Cow RC matte because it's magnetic. Oh, there we go. We can take that out. That wasn't too bad. The way I like to do things is I take the old stuff out and put it with the new stuff and match it up in the order I take it out, so that I don't get confused if I have to come back in 2 days because something calls me away from the workbench. It looks pretty straightforward to me. There are no bushings, but everything except the spur and the pinion on the motor is included in the kit. So I'll get started on that after I go get my kids from school. I'm just going to put a light coating of grease as I put these gears in the transmission. I use Super Lube. It's really light. I think for these small scale crawlers it's better because you want less resistance. Just going to dab it in there. Give it a light coating all the way around. I don't think we need much more than that. I'll add a little once everything's put together to work in later. Oh, by the way, you can probably hear one of my kids playing video games behind me. Hopefully they're not going to talk, but we're all jammed in the garage for our hobbies. One thing to note, this bushing was a very tight fit on the end of this gear. I thought it didn't fit at all, but when I gave it a little more oomph, it kind of snapped on. Now there was this little shim in here. I'm going to leave it for now and see if everything moves smoothly. I'm not sure you need it for the plastic gears. We'll see. The gears are in. Seems to be moving smoothly. I've got one side of the new metal drive shaft. I'm a little bit worried about these. I don't know if I should be. The output shafts are keyed, and that matches the plastic ones, but the metal ones are not, so all of the torque is going to be on the tiny little screw. It does give you new screws to use. They seem to be different material, more like this stainless that the drive shafts are made out of. Transmission gears are in, drive shafts are in, and I think in phase. They're so angled it's kind of hard to tell when they're in phase, but if you watch the front drive shaft here, you'll notice there is a little play. See that? Before the vehicle moves. But that might just be because of the portals. These have a really great slow crawl out of the box. You can see here, we don't get enough grip to get over, but if I add a tiny bit of weight on the front, it'll get over. So I have some brass wheel hex / weights coming, and maybe that'll solve that little problem. With a little more weight, I think this thing will be even better. Okay, next we're going to install the fog lights and the little light bar, which go right here. Fog lights, light bar. Shouldn't be too difficult. There are just 2 screws. I've got one out already here, and this other one to remove the bumper. And you just install the lights and reinstall the bumper. The light bar comes with this other piece here that fits over like this, but the instructions I found online don't mention that piece, and if you have that piece in there, it doesn't sit nice and flush right here. It sets back a ways, so I think that's included for maybe another model of vehicle, so I'm not going to add that little faceplate. There's the light bar in. Note, the screws do go in through the front, not the rear. You would think it would go through the rear. I tried, of course, at first, but I think you might strip it out if you tie it from the rear. So those go in from the front. This fits nice and flush, so I think I'm correct in not using that faceplate. The ports for the lights are on this side of the ESC, so I chose to have the LED light bar wire come out on this side. So now to put the fog lamps in and reinstall bumper. Light bar and fog lights are in. I know we all dislike the turn signals, but I think we're stuck with them. So you have low beam, high beam with turn signals, high beam with fog, and light bar with flashers. Light bar and fog lights only, but still with turn and then off. When they're all lit up, they're pretty bright.